Did you know that common sense can produce great baseball and softball hitters? Listen now as Rod Haney explains.
The fact that you're viewing this video suggests you're at least a little interested in a young baseball or softball player being a great hitter. And because of our 40-year experience, we believe we can provide you valuable guidance to accomplishing that goal, using nothing more than common sense. But since I'm told your limited attention span won't provide me the time to fully illustrate what I mean, I'll do the best I can to quickly have you see what I'm talking about and provide you the opportunity to obtain more information if you want it. For example, common sense should allow a player to understand if they want to be a great hitter, they need to practice, and more practice. Since that level of practice involves a substantial amount of time, the following should be considered. Millions upon millions of young baseball and softball players have dedicated years of their lives practicing their hitting. Batting cages, novelty hitting aids, clinics, videos, and batting practice sessions, and never became great hitters. So the question one's common sense has to answer is, why not? Common sense tells us what they practiced and how they practiced wasn't conducive to developing the player into a great hitter. Or, as some research has suggested, they didn't physically condition their body commensurate to the needs of a great hitter. Next, and just as important to understand, is the answer to the question, why do professional players hire trainers and coaches? They've already made it. They are already great hitters. The answer to that question may require a little more than common sense to fully understand why and how it applies to a young player becoming a great hitter. Common sense tells us the player benefits from it, or they won't pay for trainers and coaches. So the question needing an answer now is, how do they benefit? The answer is, as a hitter, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. If for no other reason than the pitching competition gets better. And a player can't monitor the execution of their own bat swing in the detail a spectator can. And if that spectator is qualified to quickly identify a flaw in the player's execution of their bat swing and can immediately correct it, it eliminates the player developing a bad habit and allows the player's execution to continue to improve. So if a player truly wants to be a great hitter, their common sense should have them understand. They have to make a commitment to practicing. They have to ensure how they're practicing has the ability to develop them into a great hitter. They have to ensure what they're practicing has the ability to develop them into a great hitter. And they have to physically condition their body commensurate to being a great hitter. And they have to have a qualified person monitoring their practice.
Now, if that makes sense to you and you really are serious about a player being a great hitter, you need to squeeze a little more out of your attention span and consider the following.
The execution of a bat swing is a physical, athletic movement. So let's see how nature conditions and trains the human body for the execution of a physical movement, running. A baby's body must first be conditioned so the baby can roll over. This conditioning is of the baby's core, arms, and legs. The baby is then capable of rolling over. This rolling over conditions the legs, core, and arms to allow the baby to get up on their knees and crawl. While crawling, the baby's legs and core are continued to be conditioned until the baby can stand upright. Because the legs and core get stronger from the baby standing, the baby can take steps and walk. As the baby walks, their legs and core get conditioned to allow the baby to run. The end result of this method of training is each individual component of the athletic movement is not only conditioned properly and honed to perfection, but it also allows the baby to run without having to think about how to do it or what to do next. because every involved component of the athletic movement is embedded into the baby's motor skill memory in the sequence necessary to run effectively. Then the more they practice running, the better runner they become.
Now slap yourself out of that comatose state you're about to lapse into and view the following if you truly want to see a young baseball or softball player become a great hitter.
In order for a baseball or softball player to be a great hitter, their bat swing execution, which is a physical, athletic movement, needs to produce their maximum capacity bat swing power and transfer an optimum percentage of that power to the ball. It has to be understood, we aren't training the player to swing a bat. We are training the player to hit a pitch ball hard. In our opinion, there are 7 individual things that must materialize during the execution of a bat swing in order for that to happen. And there are 7 components of a bat swing execution that can make them materialize. Number 1, the maximum production of tension energy. Number 2, the maximum production of torsion energy. Number 3, maximum production of kinetic energy. Number 4, the ball's contact on the bat has to be within the sweet spot area of the bat. Number 5, the barrel of the player's bat has to be traveling faster than the ball at the moment of sweet spot to ball contact. Number 6, the barrel of the player's bat has to prevent the driving force of the ball from pushing the barrel backward, upward, or downward. Number 7, the sweet spot to ball contact has to transpire prior to the sweet spot crossing the player's center line. If a player wants to be a great hitter, they have to practice these individual components in the sequence they are executed during the swing until they are perfected and embedded into the player's motor skill memory. The end result is a choreographed bat swing execution of those components embedded into the player's motor skill memory that allows the player to step into the batter's box free of any thought and absent the temptation to swing at a ball outside their strike zone. No different than a baby taking a step without having to first determine how to do it. It's the KISS rule for being a great hitter. See the ball, when it's where you want it to be to hit it, hit it.
Now, of course, there's more to being a great hitter than just the bat swing execution a player employs. Want to know what? Continue to view.
For example, there's the question, should a player be capable of hitting all balls traveling in their strike zone or only balls traveling in certain areas of their strike zone? If you're like us and you feel it's ridiculous to have a player at the mercy of the pitcher, waiting for a particular pitch, then you need to understand the player's practice also has to include visual, mental, physical messaging, visual focus control. Their bat swing has to start quickly and the barrel of their bat has to travel exceptionally fast. Because in order for a player to fully implement the aforementioned bat swing execution on all balls traveling in their strike zone, the bat-to-ball contact has to transpire at a specific spot in the strike zone.
Uh-oh, attention span just tilted? You're not really that interested in a player becoming a great hitter? We understand. Being great isn't for everyone.
But if the player is up for it, their practice also has to include developing the timing for hitting pitch balls, an area of our training system that may differ from your thinking. We believe a player should be trained to develop the timing to hit the pitching they will be challenged with in their current season, so they can be a great hitter during that season. Then all they need to do to retain their position as a great hitter against the pitching they'd be challenged with the following season is increase the quickness of the start of their bat swing, increase the travel speed of the barrel of their bat, and increase the production of their bat swing power. All things their body is already conditioned to do. It's important to understand young players experience their development of their physical coordination, their strength, and growth spurts at different ages. As a result, many young players are deprived of playing on their high school team because they're late bloomers, which is a shame for two reasons. One, a player doesn't have to hit home runs and extra base hits to be a great hitter. Two, because for many, once they complete their growth spurt, they can hit home runs. And if a player doesn't play high school ball, it's unlikely they will play in college or professionally. That's why our system is designed to provide all young players the ability to be a great hitter, regardless of how big, strong, or well coordinated they are. I feel better now about the possibility you may enroll in our online program, knowing you're aware of how our system works. Thank you for your time.